Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the MakeCode Arcade Advanced stream. I'm Richard at Richard on the MakeCode Forum.
I'm Joe at Jay Wonder on the MakeCode Forum.
And I'm Sarah at Sarah on the MakeCode Forum.
And apologies for being a little late today. I had some errands to run.
Did he immediately freeze?
Is it okay, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Hey, random user.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was the victory of my Hearthstone match was messing with my internet, apparently. Hi, random user. All right. So let's go into what we're doing today. So it's Friday stream. We're not going to be working on our Hollow Knight game today. We're going to just do something random. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing something. I want to make a demo project with my new extension.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to think of something to do with this. So for folks who didn't see us using this extension on Wednesday, this extension is called Arcade Tile Scanner. And it's a nifty way to kind of like select groups of tiles and do things with them. And I added a few new blocks from last time. So I added some things. Basically, most of these blocks return an array of locations. Hi, Woof Woof. And so I added some operations with those arrays of locations. So you can set the tile at all those locations. You can set wall at all those locations. I added a filter, a thing for checking if a sprite overlaps it, an index of, contains, and a thing for calculating like all of the different stuff that we've ever had to calculate on stream for groups of tiles. So, you know, like min column, min row, max column, max row, left, right, top, blah, 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 all those. All right, so what is the idea with this kind of extension? The idea is a lot of times, the thing that specifically motivated this for me was stalactites. I want to do an 8x8 tile map, so let's add tile util. All right, so stalactites. Let's see. We're just going to do some placeholder tiles. And this will be our wall. Fill this in. Very often, we have a tile of some kind where we want to, like, basically scan downwards to be like, is the player overlapping this thing? So that we can, like, you know, trigger something. So like in this case, we have these like spikes up here, right? And I want these spikes to fall down when the player walks underneath this thing. So let's go ahead and make a player spawn tile. We will just make it pink. So what we want to do is we want to be looking at all of these tiles. And when the player overlaps it, we want to destroy this tile, spawn a sprite, make it fall down, and kill the player. And it's always kind of annoying to do this stuff. So let's just code this up real quick. I'm going to create a player. You know what? Let's use the platformer extension. Why not? Mm-hmm. Now that's in a pretty good state. Makes the platforming stuff pretty easy. And we will just make this guy 4 by 8. And a rectangle. You know what? We'll give him eyes. There we go. That's our dude.
He's got eyes. Messed up.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to put this guy in our location. So you can see right now he's just falling down through here because we haven't set the walls on any of these things yet. So let's do that right now. We're going to do ahead on tile map loaded. We're going to go ahead and say set wall on at all these locations. And we're going to go ahead and put our player on top of this tile. So place on top of random, and then we're going to cover this tile with our background so that we don't see it. Great. All right, well, that didn't work. Oh, I'm doing the set my sprite after I do the set tile map. If you want to do it in the tile map loaded, you have to set the tile map last. So there we go. Now we're spotting in the right place. Can't move though, so we're going to go into platformer. We're going to go ahead and grab controls for my sprite, set it on, and there we go. Now we can move and jump and what have you. All right. So once again, behavior we want for these stalactites. We want to, as soon as the player walks underneath it, we want this thing to fall down and, potentially kill our player. So for that, we are going to use the tile scanner to basically scan these tiles and figure out which tiles we should be doing overlap checks for. Now, one other thing I forgot to mention, I have one more block that's going to come here that I realize now I have not pushed yet, which is I'm actually making another block that creates a sprite that just does overlap checks for a group of tiles. Only for the bounding box. You can't make it specific for like a T shape or something like that because of how our overlaps works, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But I realized just now that I hadn't pushed it yet, so sorry, you're gonna have to wait for that.
Mm, unfortunate.
Yep.
How can we wait?
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do 4 element of, and we're just gonna loop over all of our stalactites. Array of all these locations. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into tile scanner and we're going to do scan from. And we're going to go ahead and scan from this location in direction bottom. But we want to scan until a certain thing becomes true, which is we want to scan while we are not hitting a wall, because we want to stop it when we hit a wall. So we're going to grab this location as wall rule. So this is going to get us all the tiles below our start tile until we hit a wall, and then it'll stop. The max distance here, 0 just means infinite. You can put in any number here if you want to just do like 3 tiles or something. And to make sure we got this right, we can go ahead and do this overlap, outline sprite, which will, there we go. Create a sprite that shows the outline of this tile group that we selected. So we can see for each of these, we have selected a column, right? And it has stopped as soon as we hit the wall. Mm-hmm. So pull that out. Don't actually need it. And now, we want to take these locations and basically use these as like overlap checks. So we're going to go ahead and make a array. We will call this stalactite triggers. Mm-hmm. By the way, it's stalactite because stalactites hang tight to the ceiling.
Ooh. I'm still not going to remember that, but I still appreciate you telling me that again.
What's the trick for stalagmites?
It's not. It's the opposite of stalactite is my trick.
So I remember when I visited Victoria a while ago with family, we went on like a spelunking thing, and they gave us, they told us about stalactites and stalagmites, and that was like my first experience with them. And I thought they were like, it's stalagmite because mites are bugs and bugs live on the ground. And I was like, I don't know how. Like there are a lot of bugs that crawl around.
Yeah,
on the ceiling,
that is not a good. That's a bad mnemonic.
Random user also said that mites are on the floor. I think it helps a little bit. Like most oftentimes,
I think it's easiest just to remember stalactites hang tight to the ceiling and stalagmites are the other one, right?
But Can't you hang tight to the floor too? I don't know.
No,
These
but
that makes no sense. Sorry, are you? Yeah, you can hang tight to the floor if you're like in an airlock that has opened and is sucking you out into the vacuum of space.
Or earthquakes. Come on, Richard.
Yeah, I forgot about the classic earthquake advice. When you're in an earthquake, grab the ground and hold as tight as you can.
That is pretty much the earthquake advice, though, right?
No.
You get under a table or something. Grab the ground.
That is in no way grabbing the ground.
It's pretty close to grabbing the ground.
It's really close.
I mean, if you need something for stalagmites, you could be like they stand tall and mighty, maybe? I don't know.
Might. I get it. That's a good one.
I'm not sure I get it. Can you explain this to me?
No. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and add arrays of all of these guys to our thing. And we're going to use these to check to see if we should be making these fall down. So we're gonna go ahead and do an on-game update. We're going to be looping over everything in our stalactite triggers array. Now remember, this is an array of arrays. Whoops. Undo. There we go. And so now in here, what we're going to do is we're going to say if overlaps. And inside of tile scanner, we have my sprite overlaps with my locations. And we'll just change that to value. So this will let us check to see if it is. And we can just go ahead and do something really simple to test this. We can just do set this at the locations if we overlap with them. So walk through here and blah, 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 blah. There we go. So every time we overlap with one, we are setting the tiles. All right. We don't actually want to do that, though, so get rid of that. All right. So we want to create a sprite that's going to fall down. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to create a sprite, and we're going to be using our image here. Now, probably best actually to just redraw this without the background. There we go. And we're just going to give this kind enemy, I guess. Stalactites are enemies. Stalagmites are friends, because you can hug a stalagmite. Stalactites are like, you know, stay away from me. I'm on the ceiling.
You can hug a stalactite if you're Spider-Man. Just putting that out there.
She's right.
Spider-Man can't fly. I mean, he needs, like...
What do you mean? Stalactites are still on the ceiling. Like, you can climb... Spider-Man could climb up that wall and then climb up the ceiling.
Okay. I'm not in the business of saying what Spider-Man can and can't do.
Yeah. Who are you?
All right. So we need to oh wait, what happened here? Whoops. There you go. So we need to make it so that this we know which tile to spawn our thing on. And if we go ahead and outline our tiles again. Where is that? This one right here. All right, we will see that our group does not contain the tile we started with. All right. One thing to note, though, is that these tiles are actually sorted. They're sorted from the start to the end. So we can just grab the tile above whatever our first tile in the array is. So we'll go into scene, grab the tile in direction right here. Whoops. And do tile top of value, get value this guy. And we're going to go ahead and clear that tile. So we want to set the transparency there. So we should see that now. There we go. I guess we don't want to set transparency. We want to set the background. And then we want to place our sprite on top of that tile. So inside of scene, grab the place on tile. And we're going to place our temp sprite on top of this location. Okay, there we go. Now it looks like nothing is happening because we're just creating the sprites and putting them up there. We haven't given them gravity. So we should probably give them gravity. Temp sprite, AY, 500, sure. Now, whoa. Okay, so what's happening there? Well, we are not clearing our array after we do it. So it's triggering for every frame that we are overlapping with the thing. So if I just stand here, it'll be an endless, thing until my computer starts dying of lag, which you can see is already starting to happen because we're spawning hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sprites.
It's pretty good this way, though. I mean, it's nice and...
Yeah, but for perf reasons, I think we're going to have to change it. So,
okay.
So we want to go ahead and just remove these things from our stalactite triggers. So we're just going to do that.
Wait, I just remembered. Is the Kirby air completely unrelated? Is the Kirby air ride demo tonight at midnight?
I think it's tomorrow.
I know there's 3 times this weekend, and I missed them last week because I was dumb and I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I did them. I played them last week.
Okay.
Let's see. Scoops says the Great Stalag Wars.
Yeah.
Very true. Oh, it pits brother against brother, friend against friend, home against home. All right. So we want to remove this from our array. Now, one thing that's a little bit tricky here is we could go ahead and remove these from our array, but I don't know what will happen if we remove it from the array while we're iterating. I mean, I don't think it'll actually be a problem. So we could just do that. But it could be a problem for other things. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and grab our stalactite triggers. And we want to remove value at to get the index. Wolfwolf says, Richard, what is sprite kind legacy? Oh, there is a tale. Oh, a tale as old as time, or as old as arcade is. A long time ago, when we were still making the sprites, the APIs for arcade, before it was kind of in general release, we changed the way sprite kinds worked. And for generally, when we make breaking changes to APIs, we try to maintain backwards compatibility for those projects. They might be a little bit gross, but the idea is that they will keep the basic compatibility when they are loaded. We'll do some upgrade rules to make that happen. And sprite kind legacy is one of the artifacts of that. So at a certain point, we changed the way sprite kinds worked. And for old projects, we have the sprite kind legacy, which we do to maintain compatibility. Wolfwolf says, so did the user just have a very old project containing it? Yes, we're talking about many years old project. Mm-hmm. Either they found a link on the forum or something. But that was very early into the life of arcade that we made that switch. So I don't think there are actually that many projects that are impacted by sprite kind legacy. Mm-hmm.
The change was just that we used to represent the sprite kinds as an enum in the JavaScript, and we changed it so that they're their own constants in their own way. Like if we make them, you see them at the top of the file.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big difference, really, but
I don't know. There was a reason we had to do it. I don't remember what it was.
It was so that they're extensible, right? For extensions.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's
contributed.
Yeah. All right. Oops. Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh no, I can't get up there. Oh well.
Tiny.
All right, this works. So we just want to let's make this, doable. There we go. All right. So we want to Hyperlingus. We want to make it so that these spikes disappear when they hit the ground. So we could do that one of two ways. So one is to just make an on-hit walls thing and make them get destroyed. The other easier way is, this is such a common behavior, we just have a destroy on a wall thing, which you could use. So just go to tip sprite, set the destroy on wall behavior on, and then these guys will get destroyed when they overlap. I'm sorry, when they hit the wall. And then we want to also do an overlap event with our player. So let's see. On sprite of kind player overlaps other sprite of kind enemy. Then game over.
I kind of liked it when it stayed. It was like a kind of like a high stakes where it's like you pass this you pass. How do I want to phrase that? Like you cross this path. To say. Yeah, I know. You cross this path and you can't go back. Is basically like you're stuck.
It's not really like that though, because they have those big flat tops. So you could, a stalactite that has fallen is harmless to you.
I guess that's fair. You could just walk across the top.
Yeah.
What if it's really just the
pointy part is stuck in the ground?
Yeah, but like, what if it just says really mean things to you?
I guess that's an option.
You step on it, it's just like. Wah!
So we could do that though. We could make it so that instead of doing this, we can go into scene and we will do an on sprite of kind enemy hits wall at location. And when this happens, we will destroy our sprite. And we are going to set wall on. And we're not going to do it at the location. This location is the location of the wall. We want the location of our sprite. So we're going to go into scene and grab the tile map location of sprite right there. And then we want to set the tile so that it looks like a spike. So we're going to just set it to be this spike tile at that same location. All right. All right, so now these guys fall down, and now they're walls. So
it's fun because then you could what if you push the bottom one up one layer and then you put spikes on the two leftmost columns so that you had to trigger the spikes to then be able to jump up?
Oh, I see.
I was thinking the same thing.
So
yeah, like you have to make spikes fall in order to complete.
Yeah, we don't actually need to push anything because we can just get rid of our little thing right here.
Random user asks, is this an actual game or just a demo of the extension?
Demo of the extension? Okay, wait, did I mess on my overlap somehow? Did I delete my overlaps event? Looks like it.
Oh.
Change this to enemy, and we want to do game over. Yeah, this is just a demo of the extension. All right, pass on through. There we go. Oh, all right, this is maybe too hard. Yeah, no, I think this might be impossible. So,
you have to set a gap, one stalactite gap.
We'll set a gap, maybe a 2 stalactite gap. I think 1 might require you to position yourself a little bit too perfectly. Okay, all right. Well, that was my fault. No, all right. Yep, not my fault again. There you go. Oh,
Nice.
Got it. All right.
See, that's fun.
Okay. Belinga says new tile extension. Yep. All right, so this was fun. All right, so what is some other stuff we could do with this extension? So I was trying to think of the other scenarios we kind of had for when we have to like loop over tiles to like do stuff.
Mhm.
And so the other one I could think of was terrain. I don't know, Joey, if you could think of any others.
You mean like icy and like
No.
slowing? No.
What I mean is like corners.
Oh, okay. That is more fun. It does add to the ambience.
Yeah. So let's start a new project. Here, call this stalactite demo. All right, and we're going to add this decision again. So Rickel/arcade tile scanner. Hello, Dan Nest. And in here, we are going to, once again, let's just go ahead and create an 8x8 tile map. And the goal this time is we want to do like terrain, basically. So what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of times when I'm making tile maps, I want to have like one tile that I use for my walls. Whoops. But I think it would like look prettier if I had like different things that show up depending on what the surrounding tiles are.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of a classic example of this is like rounding corners. So that's what we're going to do here today. So we're going to go ahead and make some versions of these purple tiles where they are rounded off. So we're going to be creating a bunch of different versions right now. But so the idea is that we want this to be more like this, you know? And we don't want to author that in our tile map because it's a huge pain.
Just checked today and realized that the game jam ends tomorrow. Yeah,
It does indeed.
it's a good time and a good thing to remind people too. So thank you.
Yeah, still time to make a game. You got until midnight tomorrow. Midnight Pacific, specifically. That's where we live. Well, who knows about Sarah?
We think we know, but we don't. You know, we don't know. We know. Like we
Yeah, we don't. We don't
It
know.
could be a really funny con if she's just like 3 blocks down the road, but she just drives to the airport every time and then drives home afterwards.
That would be pretty funny. Yeah, actually, I live in a shadow dimension. I'm everywhere and nowhere all at once.
Yeah, I think for the future, Sarah, if you could just, whenever you are on video chat with us, could you stand next to some sort of landmark in your town so that we can verify that you are where you say you are?
It has to be a different one each time though, because otherwise, like you might, like it might be one of those situations where you're like you're in Vegas and there's a pyramid behind you, and it's like, oh well, you're not at the pyramid, so you're not at the Eiffel Tower. It just looks
Right. Yeah. Totally. No, I can't do that because where I live doesn't have enough notable landmarks, I don't think. And like I'm not about to bring my laptop in the outside world. That's too much work.
It was a test.
All right, well, then we're never going to trust you.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can just like take in what I say and that'll be enough, you know?
We can
Whether
believe
you're
your
try-
lies for now.
Yeah, exactly. Whether you trust me or not, like I'll still be entertaining. So it's like, I don't know. Take that what you will, I guess.
It's an interesting one.
All right.
I will still make Richard really annoyed and try to bring up really stupid game ideas. There you go.
Okay. Well, that's how we know it's you. What?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Joey does that just as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I'm not here all the time.
All right. So, we want to basically we want to round out all these corners using those tiles that we made. And we're going to be doing this using the tile scanner. So we're going to do get all locations that match. And what we want to do here is we want to get all locations that match our tile right here. But we only care about the ones that are on the edge. So we can also grab this location borders. And we can grab an and.
Let's see.
Whoops. Let's see. I need to grab another tile is.
Richard Woof Woof is asking about a sprite tile maps bug, or you can this my sprite tile map block isn't working in the tile maps extension.
I don't. I remember someone reporting a bug, but I don't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So we want where the tile is this, and we want where the tile is not this. So we want all tiles that border a tile that is not this. And with that, we can just go ahead and see real quick where we what we selected by using the outline sprite. So just go ahead and put this right here, and we will see a bunch of red outlines. So there you go. We have selected all of these ones that are outlined. So all of these ones that are touching non-tiles. Right?
It already looks kind of cool, to be honest. It looks like a lava kind of futuristic stuff.
Yeah. This outline thing, I mean, you can use it for whatever you want, but I really just intended it for debugging. So,
yeah.
But it is nifty, I guess. All right.
Dana says, I actually used MakeCode Arcade to make a viral game at the school because every game was blocked and miscoded software, but Arcade wasn't. That's cool. Nice.
Yeah. All right. So we need to detect which of these. So, okay, wait. Put that back. Not all of these need to change, right? So, like, all of these ones are good as is. So what is the criteria that says we need to change one of the tiles? Well, that criteria is it touching more than one tile? Is it adjacent to more than one tile on the same corner that has that is not the tile that we're looking for? Now, there are a few tiles that are going to mess with this a little bit. So like this one right here has above and below. But we're going to be using this to do it. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a for loop, a for of loop over all of these guys. So all of my locations. And now we're going to use another thing from Tile Scanner, which is locations adjacent to. And this has a rule that we can use as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all of the locations adjacent to this location that we're at that are not the purple tile. So we're going to go ahead and just make this be adjacent tiles. Grab there and put our location in there. Okay. So now we have a list of all of the adjacent tiles that are not purple. And we could just check what is the length of this array.
Astronomer, your band teacher got the teacher of the year. That's pretty cool. I'm assuming that you like that teacher if you're bringing it up with exclamation marks, and it's not like a how dare they get teacher of the year. They are actually really not a good. Okay, that's good. I'm glad.
All right. So let's do the 3 first, because that's actually the easier case. So the ones that have 3 are this one, this one, this one, this one, you know, etc. What we can do is we need to determine which of these tiles we need to set. And we can do that by looking at which of the tiles bordering it is purple. So we could say if tile map location. And then we want to go to grab a tile is block. Right here. Okay. So if the tile map location below this location is this, then we know we want to set the one that is pointing upwards. Mm-hmm. So we can go ahead and do set tile at. And we can just keep doing like this. So the one to the right, then we want to set the one pointing to the left. One to the bottom, we want to do the one. Sorry, we did our bottom. One to the top, we want to do the one pointing to the bottom. And then otherwise, we want to do the one pointing to the right. All right, that should do it. So there you go. Look at these all rounded out now. Okay, now we have a problem though, which is it looks like we have some things coming up. Oh, all right. I did not anticipate this. You know what? I think what we actually want to do is do this a little bit differently. Okay, so what's happening here? What's happening is we are looping over all of these locations. And as we're going, we're doing this check. We're saying, okay, we have 3 things that are bordering that are not this tile. So let's go ahead and set the end cap. But by the time we get down to this tile, we have already passed this one. So we have set this tile to be something that is not purple. So now when we count, we are getting 3, and we're causing that to happen. So I think what we actually want to do is we're going to go ahead and edit all these tiles real quick. This is going to be annoying, but we want to cover the tile and not actually edit it. And actually, this is a better way to program it anyway, because say we want to do like programmatically, we want to treat these all the same. So if we do like an on-hit wall and we want to do something when we hit a certain type of wall, we want that wall to be this, like just the normal purple thing. We don't want to check every single variation of the purple blocks that we have. So this is like a classic thing that I would have programmed one way in a stream game and then gone back and had to redo it all because I realized it was a mistake later. All right, there we go. So we're going to go into tile util, and we're going to do the cover. So we're going to grab cover location, and we're going to cover location with this tile and repeat. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and get rid of our selection here. We have rounded out our little columns here.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. All right, so let's do the other ones now. The corners. So this one's a little bit tougher. So we're going to go ahead and do the length check right here, and we're going to say equals 2. Now, the reason this is tougher is because of these cases, right? So this case where we have 2, where it's on either side. And it's going to be a little bit annoying, but I promise it won't be that bad. So we're going to go ahead and do a check in here, just like we did before. What we need to do basically is we need to figure out the 2 sides that have the purple one, and then we will set our tile accordingly. So if the tile to the bottom of us is purple, then we only need to check the ones to the right and to the left, because those are the ones that we care about. So say we are this tile right here. The bottom to us is purple. We only need to know, is it to the left or is it to the right? Which one is purple? Because if it's to the left, that means we want to do this corner. If it's to the right, that means we want to do the other opposite corner. So go ahead and check left, check right here, and then this else case will be the like 2-sided one. So we have bottom and we have left. Then we want to do the one that's top to the right. And this one we want to do top to the left. So we should see these guys get filled in now. There we go. Nice and round. Same with these ones. Now we can do the other one, which is tile to the top is this. And then we just want to do another check right here. And it'll be the same, but the bottom ones. So that and that. There you go. All right. Nice round corners.
Thanks.
All right. Now, let's say we want to round this even more for some reason. So, like, I want to round the interiors of these. You know? So everything is
I was just
smooth.
gonna ask that.
Yeah. So let's do that.
Yay.
Read that. So we're gonna go ahead and make a bunch of tiles that look just like this, which is kind of silly, but so you know it'll look a little bit more rounded when we put it in there.
Oh, I was thinking the opposite of like you basically like carve out, although that would jut in. Never mind. That doesn't.
Yeah,
work.
I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
All right. Keep on doing this. All right, so this is going to look very similar to the code we already have. We are going to select a different set of tiles, though, because now we care about the background tiles, right? So down here, we are going to find the tiles that are transparency and that they border a wall like that. All right, and let's go ahead and look at what we just selected, make sure we got it right. There we go. So we have selected every tile that is touching a purple tile, which looks right to me. Astronomer says, wait, where did they get the tile scanner extension? Yeah, so it's a Ricknell/Arcade tile scanner. So, and I will post this on the forum, but I still have a few tweaks to make. But it's right here. You can use it right now. It works right now, but I'm going to be probably adding a few more blocks. All right, so toss the outline. We know we got what we want. Okay, we're going to loop over all these guys again. Whoa, whoops. Okay, wait, undo. Oh, wait, actually, there's more cases. Wait, so we have these ones, but we also have this fun thing, right? So, like, we actually don't have one of these currently in our tile map, but let's go ahead and make some of those. Like this. There we go. Wait, is there even another one? There's like this. No, okay, no, there's nothing else except for like the fully.
I mean, you could do that. But
I guess it makes. Might as well do that too. I mean, that's really easy to do. So. Great. Now, yeah, this will be fine. Okay.
Is it gonna look like a donut?
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. Whoa! All right.
Oh.
So, we're gonna go ahead and do our checks in here now. So, if we have 3 adjacent, we need to figure out our adjacent tiles. So once again, we're going to do tiles that match, and then this time we're going to do instead of not tile is, we're going to do the tile is purple. So we want to know how many that are purple that are bordering us. So if there are 3 purple tiles bordering us, or there are 4 purple tiles bordering us. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, wait.
What if there are 15 tiles bordering us in
That's
a
possible.
multi-dimensional sense?
So one thing I haven't mentioned is that in the border you can do adjacent diagonal or adjacent or diagonal. I'm just doing adjacent. So these are the ones in the cardinal directions. So top, left, right, bottom. All right. So if we count the number of bordering purple tiles, this should tell us how many, like which one we should have to set. So if the answer is 3, then we want to do one of these dealios. So we're going to say if the tile to the bottom is, we're going to check for transparency. So if the tile to the bottom is transparency, that means we want to do this one. And we're going to keep just doing transparency checks. So if the one to the right is, then we want to do this one. If the one to the top is, then we want to do this one. And then otherwise, we want to do the last one by process of elimination. All right. Now, let's do it. So if it's 2, then we want to do a check very similar to what we did before. So we're going to do tile map location is, once again, we're going to be checking for transparency instead of the purple tile.
We don't like purple tiles. I mean, that's a lie. We really do like purple tiles, but in this case, we're going to pretend like we don't.
So if the tile to the bottom is transparency and the tile to the left is transparency, that means that this is transparency, this is transparency. We want to be doing the top right corner. So I think it's just going to be the inverse of all of these ones that we have right here. I'm just guessing.
Can't believe
All right.
Richard would guess.
See what we got. There we go. Nice and smooth. Okay, so the last one we have to deal with is this 4-1, right? So if the bordering is 4, then we want to cover with, wait, did I not do this one?
I don't think you did.
Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and make it real quick. See ya, dentist. There you go, like that. And we're going to go ahead and cover it with this. All right. Look at our beautiful, beautiful, like 60s mod styling to our tile map. Now that we have all of these nice rounded edges.
I almost look at it and see like a computer chip.
Yeah, a little bit. You're right. All right, so this is some of the things you can do with this extension. This is still a lot of code, but it's less code than if we didn't have this extension. Let me tell you that, as someone who has programmed this before. Like I said, I'm probably going to be making a few more tweaks to this extension before I post about it on the forum, but I will post about it on the forum. Let's see, call this terrain demo. I wonder, there might be some blocks I can make to make this specific scenario easier, but I don't know what they are. You know, I'll have to think about it. But thanks for joining us. Reminder, Game Jam ends tomorrow. If you're working on a Game Jam game, you know, even if you didn't 100% finish it, just go ahead and submit it. You know, don't let your work go to waste. Go ahead and submit it. We're going to, you know, play through all of those. They're all going to be put up on the Game Jam page. And we're going to be doing the judging. We're probably going to be finished with the judging, I'll say, at the end of November. Well, that's in Thanksgiving. So it'll probably be the first week of December that we do the play out results stream. We need a little bit of time to do the judging, and I have to go through all of the things and get them all up on the website and stuff like that. So it'll take a little bit of time. But anyway, I'm Richard on the MakeCode Forum. See you Monday.
I'm Joey at JWonder on the MakeCode Forum.
And I'm Sarah at Sarah on the MakeCode Forum.
And yeah, see you later, everybody. Bye.